We have major breaking news into CNN on the global trade war. President Trump just truthed out saying, quote, I have authorized a 90-day pause. The president here announcing a 90-day.
Now that prompted the S&P 500 index, one of the stock markets in the US, to jump at one point by as much as 8%, with the tech-heavy NASDAQ index up by as much as 9%, and the NASDAQ.
This was something certainly we've been talking about for a period of time, and we decided to pull the trigger. And we did it today, and we're happy about it. I didn't know it would have that kind of an impact, but it's, you know, I think we have the biggest increase in the history of the stock market. That's pretty good. That's pretty, you're almost, you know, if you keep going, you're going to be back to where it was 4 weeks ago. But it was a sick market 4 weeks ago, you know, because this trade was sick. It was only a question of time. I don't blame the tariffs. I think the tariffs just sort of magnified what was happening. It was sick. Biden allowed these people to get away with murder. Biden allowed...
Big moves, big deals. President Donald Trump just announced a 90-day pause for most countries hit by higher U.S. tariffs. But there's a twist. While the world holds its breath, the trade war with China takes a new turn. Today, we break down what this means for global economics, why Trump might just be playing a high-stakes game, and what could be coming next in his art of the deal. Just hours after a wave of tariffs on over 60 trading partners kicked in, Trump called for a dramatic policy shift. The US would pause higher tariffs for most countries, except for one. And we all know who that is, China. The stakes couldn't be higher as Trump and Beijing lock horns in this high-stakes trade war. Let's take a look at what's behind this pause and why Trump might be gambling with the global economy.
Situation, okay? So steel and aluminum, we'll see a lot of good things happen. We're going to have new jobs popping up. We're going to have much more vibrant companies, and then the rest is going to be up to management to make them truly great. If you could ever make U.S. steel like it used to be, we'd be very happy. And I actually think it's possible. But you have a long way to go. I remember when I was growing up, U.S. Steel, that was the ultimate company. And today you have so many closed plants. And the NAFTA deal was a disaster for our country. The WTO has been a disaster for this country, for our country. In fact, the rise of China economically was, if you look at it, directly equal to the date of the opening of the World Trade Organization. It has been great for China and terrible for the United States, and great for other countries, but terrible for the United States. So we're talking about it, and two of the groups that I want to do some very fast action will probably have everything completed by next week. We'll be imposing tariffs on steel imports and tariffs on aluminum imports.
To understand today's announcement, we need to rewind. The US and China's trade war didn't happen overnight. It started with Trump's 2018 tariffs, aimed at reducing the US trade deficit with China. Over the years, tariffs on billions of dollars of goods have been imposed, with China retaliating each time. But this new announcement, it's a game changer. Trump's approach, it's all about leverage, control, and of course the art of negotiation. The idea was simple: put pressure on China and they'll come to the table. But as tariffs ramped up, market turmoil followed, and even America's own economy felt the sting.
Mr. President, did our Prime Minister persuade you not to put tariffs on the UK? And if I may, Prime Minister, do you think that Vladimir Putin is a man who will keep his word?
He tried. He was working hard, I'll tell you that. He earned whatever the hell they pay him over there. But he tried. I think there's a very good chance that in the case of these two great friendly countries, I think we could very well end up with a real trade deal.
So, what's this 90-day pause all about? For countries that didn't retaliate against US tariffs, Trump is offering a temporary reprieve, but for China, he's cranking up the heat with tariffs now sitting at a blistering 125%. While this pause may sound like a relief to most countries, China is facing even harsher penalties. Why? Because Trump says China is disrespecting the US and refuses to back down. This comes right after a major sell-off in global markets, which saw trillions in losses. Was this a calculated move? Let's break it down.
NASDAQ once again dropping between 2 and 4% during early trading. But President Trump says he's not surprised.
I mean, it's to be expected where this is a patient that was very sick. We really inherited a terrible economy, as you know, with a lot of problems.
Investors are pulling back big time after Trump announced his massive tariff plan on Wednesday. He slapped a 10% baseline tax on all foreign goods, with higher rates for countries with the largest trade deficits.
There's a certain controversy to me, and I am single, and I do go out with women.
While his family life may have been on the rocks, his business empire was crumbling.
The headline was quite accurate. Welcome to the 90s, Donald. Because it was like he got whacked right in the face. It was amazing.
Trump opened his third casino in Atlantic City in April 1990.
Lasers, fireworks, and miles of neon lights provided the color as Trump opened the Taj Mahal Casino Hotel in Atlantic City.
But just months after it opened, the Taj Mahal missed one of its debt payments, and Trump began looking for a bailout.
Here's where things get interesting. You see, Trump's been vocal about his business strategy. In the early 2000s, he made a very revealing comment. He likes making deals when the market falls. Scoop up assets at rock-bottom prices and sell them at a profit when the market rebounds. Could this be what's happening now? Is Trump using tariffs to tank the economy temporarily, only to swoop in and make moves once the market recovers?
Find that I do better in bad markets. I buy things in bad markets. And you can't do that in a great economy. You can't buy it. Either you're going to buy it very expensively or not be able to buy it at all. So there's a lot of opportunity, I find, in the bad times.
Consider this. The S&P 500 shot up 9.5% in a single day after Trump announced his tariff changes. And the US stock market has rebounded with remarkable speed. Is Trump using economic turmoil as a strategy to manipulate the market? This could very well be his art of the deal in action. Take the hit now, reap the rewards later.
Donald Trump engaged in years of illegal conduct to inflate his net worth, to deceive banks and the people of the great state of New York. Claiming you have money that you do not have does not amount to the art of the deal. It's the art of the steal.
Mr. Trade Representative, are you aware that the tariffs have been paused?
I am, yes.
When were you made aware of that?
Well, I understood the decision was made a few minutes ago.
Sitting here.
Under discussion.
Sitting here, under discussion. So did you know that this was under discussion, and why did you not include that as part of your opening remarks?
So typically what I don't do is divulge the contents of my discussions with
What are the
President.
details of the pause?
I understand it's 90 days. I haven't spoken to the President since I've been
So
in
the
this
trade
hearing.
representative hasn't spoken to the President of the United States about a global reordering of trade.
Yes, I have. I've
And
just
yet
been in the hearing with you, sir.
But yet he announced it on a tweet. WTF? Who's in charge?
The President of the United States is in charge.
And what do you know about those details?
Well, as I mentioned...
It looks like your boss just pulled the rug out from under you and paused the tariffs, the taxes on the American people. There's no strategy. You just found out 3 seconds ago sitting here. We saw you.
We've been discussing a
If
variety
you
of
came
things.
here knowing that you were going to be turned off, that these tariffs were going to be turned off, why didn't you include that in your opening statement? Why didn't you reference that as part of your testimony?
Well, I don't disclose my conversations with the President, sir.
Is this market manipulation?
No.
Why not? If it was a plan, if it was always the plan, how is this not market manipulation?
The sell-off is sweeping the globe, with markets plunging across Europe and Asia.
Donald Trump has single-handedly created a financial forest fire.
Their economies are not crashing. Their markets are reacting to a dramatic change in the global order in terms of trade. Once they know what the rules are, they will adjust to those rules.
China is getting ready to hit back, though.
So what happens next? With the US and China on the brink of escalating tariffs further, the global economy is on edge. The World Trade Organization has warned that this trade war could see goods trade between the US and China drop by as much as 80%, a $466 billion hit. The risks are huge. But there's hope for a resolution. Trump claims that Chinese President Xi Jinping will want to get to a deal, but for now, the situation is far from over. Will China buckle under the pressure, or will the tariff war continue to escalate? Only time will tell. The US isn't just battling China. The European Union, Vietnam, and other global players are feeling the heat. Retaliatory tariffs are already in motion, and more could be coming. The global trade landscape is shifting, and with it, the future of international economics. As Trump continues to manipulate the trade landscape, we have to ask ourselves, is this the beginning of a new economic world order, or is it a short-term strategy that will eventually backfire? For now, the 90-day pause might buy some breathing room, but don't expect a calm global marketplace anytime soon. In the world of international trade, no one plays the game quite like Donald Trump. Whether he's tanking the economy for a later profit or pushing for better deals, his trade policies have already made a lasting impact. But the real question remains, can this trade war be won, or will it become a cautionary tale of economic brinkmanship?
The second item, President Trump, is a regulatory freeze, as you announced in your speech, preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of this, the government and this administration.
You know, because I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything, sir. And then I'll see some rebel Republican, some guy that wants to grandstand, say, I think that Congress should take over negotiations. Let me tell you, you don't negotiate like I negotiate. Congress takes over negotiating, sell America fast because you're going to go busted. You don't. I just saw it today, a couple of your congressmen said, I think we should get involved in the negotiation of the tariffs. Oh, that's what I need. I need some guy telling me how to negotiate. I tell you, the happiest people in the world would be China. They wouldn't be paying 104%. I tell you, they'd be paying no percent. We'd be paying them 104%.